Welcome to Home Farm. Today we're going to be shaping our Boxwood balls. So these Boxwoods have been here for many years. It's estimated just by talking to neighbours and things, probably at least 40 to 50 years. So they are well and truly established, which is quite remarkable actually, because it looks like they were always planted in this brick patio area, which actually used to be the front entrance to the old farmhouse. So you used to come up here and like this, and then where you see that window, that used to actually be the doorway. There were steps up and that was the entrance. So obviously when the house was renovated a few years ago, it was reconfigured, and it was good that they actually left this and we've made it into a nice little seating area. So we really enjoy these Boxwoods, and we think that they are a lovely shape and they are just such a magnificent size. We have never lived in a house with Boxwoods before, we've never owned them, and we've never had them in any of our gardens before. So this is a whole new learning experience for me, managing Boxwoods and Buxus plants. The shears that we have are about 5 years old, and they have been mistreated and not maintained and not sharpened or cleaned or anything. So they are really blunt and not very easy to use. So as an upgrade to our manual shears, we were actually gifted this as a birthday gift from the family, and it is some cordless shrub and grass shear set from Bosch. And this is what you get. You get this carry case, which is quite nice, a zip up one to keep it in. I've already used it at the back garden. I used it on our smaller Buxus balls just to try it out and see, get familiar with the feeling and see if it was something that I would dare use on our big ones. So you get the handheld, which is what you charge, and then you get two attachments. In there you get more like a hedge trimmer and a shearing attachment. This one is quite, I wouldn't say blunt, but it's maybe built for more thicker stems. So I'll show you what it's like on the Boxwood, but generally speaking, for shaping, I do prefer this attachment. It's got a nice safety feature on, so you have to press this in either that way or that way, doesn't matter. So I just do it this way with my thumb. So you press that in, and then you pull the trigger and press it in, and then so when I've got it like that, and then I press that in, and then as soon as I let that go, this pops out again, and it stops this from being pressed down accidentally. So it's quite a nice little safety feature. The other thing I've brought out is a couple of old fitted sheets. I have learnt from the last few times of doing this that I didn't use any tarp or fitted sheets, and we ended up with boxwood leaves all over this gravel driveway. I think there's even some still remainder here, and trying to pick these up individually is a nightmare. In fact, it really needs, if you don't have a leaf blower, you're going to be out here for the rest of the day just picking them up. So that was quite tedious. So I'm going to try a technique with these fitted sheets so that we can try and collect up any clippings easily and without too much fuss. So generally speaking, the condition of that side, or both of the sides of these balls, is actually pretty good and dense. So hopefully when I trim it, we're not going to uncover any big holes. There's a bit of a hole here on the top, and we've definitely got some holes at the back here, big gaps. So giving it a trim hopefully will allow it to fill out a little bit more in those gaps, and I think I'll also give it some fertilizer and some feed when we finished as well. So as you can see, it is looking quite woolly. And we have chosen to do this at a time when the temperatures are not extreme. Boxwoods do not like to be trimmed during a frost, or when they could get a frost, or in really high temperatures when they can get scorched. They can burn quite easily apparently, so we've chosen to do it this week where we know that there's a real mix of clouds, sun, rain, and the temperatures are around 18 degrees. So hopefully that should be a temperature that the boxwood is comfortable with. I think I'm going to just change it up and put the other attachment on just to see how it works on this, because we haven't used it before on this size boxwood. Just exactly the same, clip it on. So when I do this, I kind of give it a trim in a certain area, and then I kind of go in with my hands and just fluff it out, because then sometimes just the odd bit kind of comes out and you've kind of missed it because it was maybe tucked in a little bit. So I just kind of loosen that up just to make sure that we're getting a fairly even cut. This is not going to be a masterpiece of precision. I'll let you know now. We're very happy with just a general feel of roundness. We're not going to be highly technical about how precise this is going to be, but it's just a nice soft round shape. That's what we're going for. So I think that is good. Marsden seems to be happy with it, and I seem to think it's reasonable. It's got better shape to it now, which is really good, and you can see that it is tidy, which is what we're going for. I will get on with this one now, but just in case, I don't know what the battery's like on this tool, so I've got a feeling that I might get halfway through this and run out of battery, so I'm going to film this later. But I wanted to just say some things while it was fresh in my mind. I definitely think that this tool is better than the other one for shaping. It seems to be a lot sharper, so when I'm doing it, what I've noticed is if, for example, there's an area where I need to get a little bit more extra off, as opposed to deliberately cutting in like this, is where you can actually end up with quite large chunks coming out. If you literally just drop it and tilt it like that with your wrist more as a motion rather than an arm motion, just dropping it even just that tiny bit, you'd be surprised at how much it takes out. So I would say if you are going to use this tool, just be aware of kind of more of your wrist motion and your levels, because it is sharp and it can take out quite a lot quite quickly. But overall, I'm really happy with it. It definitely was a lot faster than using my old manual blunt shears. And the fitted sheets were a dream. They worked like a treat. I had actually purchased a topiary mat from Gardena this week on Amazon, and it arrived and unfortunately they sent us the wrong thing. So I've got to return that, and to be honest with you, for £20 I don't think I'm actually going to repurchase it, because they said that I would have to get the refund and then they'd have to repurchase it again and reorder it. I don't think I'm going to bother. These fitted sheets were a dream, and I think that because they were fitted on the corners, when you lift it up it automatically has that elastic and everything just tips into the bottom of the sheet. So I think that that's the way to go. That'll just work for us just fine. As you can see, we didn't actually end up removing too much, so we didn't go too crazy. This is a fairly small wheelbarrow, and we've only just kind of taken that much off this quite large ball. So it was just what we wanted. Conservative, easy, and look, hardly any leaves got onto the ground. So I am really pleased that we managed to control the leaf spillage, not have hours and hours of cleanup like I did last time. So I'm going to get on and trim this one up, and if I run out of battery halfway through, I'll trim it up probably tomorrow, and you'll see the end results. So I think that that's a good job done. I'm really pleased with the end results. I think the Bosch performed really well, and it's definitely going to be a very useful tool for us. So great birthday gift from the family. We really like useful and practical gifts like that at home farm. So that's wonderful. And I think that the balls look good. I didn't damage them, I don't think. I haven't made them look atrocious, or I don't think they're a shocker. I think that we can live with them looking like this. So I'm pleased, and they definitely look a little bit healthier than they did this time last year. So we seem to be on the right track, which I'm really pleased to see. We certainly have a huge respect and admiration for people that cut their topiary into unusual shapes. I think I've seen squirrels, giant rabbits and things. Just fantastic, really creative, and just make landscapes look really fun and interesting. So if you do anything like that, please let us know, leave a comment below. We would just love to know what you do. And also, how on earth do you get that precision cut? What tools do you use to get it looking that sharp and clean? So we would love to hear from you. We hope that you found this video useful. If you did, please subscribe and ring the bell. And we thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you on our next video.